Hello there folks, welcome to the channel, welcome back if you've been here before, and today I'm going to be building this classic Lotus Esprit from the Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me. I'm not going to show a clip of the film just in case my video gets content ID flagged, but I'm sure most of us have seen the classic scene in The Spy Who Loved Me where Bond drives the Lotus off the end of the pier into the water and the car converts into Wet Nellie, this submarine. This is a 1/24th scale kit from Fujimi, and I was lucky enough to pick it up recently from Kent Models at a very good price, so do check it out if you're in the UK especially. I've always quite enjoyed Bond films, so I thought this would be quite a fun kit to build. It's worth noting that this is specifically the Bond submarine release, so if you want to build a regular Lotus Esprit you have to get the other boxing. This doesn't include things like the wheels or anything like that. I haven't built many Fujimi kits before. I think actually the most recent one was the footwork that I built. But a fairly straightforward construction process. We've got just a couple of steps for building the interior, most of which won't be seen anyway because we have those sort of shutters on the, what's the word I'm looking for, on the windows. And actually I think the main reason that the movie car had those over the windows is because the model they used for the film is a wet submarine, i.e. it wasn't watertight and the person controlling it had to be wearing scuba gear. But of course in the film it's supposed to be dry inside, Bond and the girl are supposed to be nice and safe inside. So by covering the windows they hide that fact on the exterior shots. Once we've built up the interior we have the propellers and the rudders at the rear, single piece glazing for the main glazing, some details of the lights and so on, and then really everything gets encased together. So I'm thinking it should be a fairly straightforward build. I started with the single piece cabin. This has a few details, although of course many of them will not be visible through the aforementioned windows. Nevertheless, I did add them because you might get a glimpse of them. We have this dash panel here which goes above the steering wheel, which I left separate for painting and decorating. There's a steering wheel of course as well, and we have some seats in there, some very nice looking seats, very comfortable looking, and again they're kept separate for painting. Next I built up the rear section, which is where the rudders and the propellers go. And again the construction here is really simple, minimal part count. The upper bodywork is primarily one piece, and I've just taped this rear rudder assembly to it so that I can get these wheel well covers in place. Once the car hits the water, the tyres fold in and these covers come out, and then they have some hydroplanes that come out of those. So those covers are glued into place and then taped down to secure them. And what I also did temporarily was tape in the underside of the vehicle, which again is a single piece, just to keep everything aligned. The bottom of the real Esprit of course is not like this, but this one being a submarine version it has to be enclosed and you know, ostensibly watertight, doesn't it? But it does also mean it's quite an easy construction for us model builders. We do have the option of putting the headlights up or down. I don't believe they were ever up in the underwater scenes, so I just put the blanking plates in there. We have the fuel cap on both sides. And although the propellers and their mountings are moulded in different colours, I glued them together because they're going to get primed and painted anyway. However, I did leave these separate from the main mounting assembly because they need to be black rather than white. And then to be honest, that was the majority of the initial preparation stage. So here are my sub-assemblies that I have. We've got the cabin interior, we've got the floor underside, the two seats, we've got the hydroplanes here. I've left them on the sprue because they're individually numbered, so I'll paint them and then put them in. A few other bits and bobs. We've got the propellers, window wipers. These are the shrouds for the propellers, steering wheel, dash, rear view mirror, one of the bumpers, a strange periscope style thing, the rear rudder assembly, number plate holders, or number plates rather. These are the shutters for the windows. They're moulded black, but of course I'll paint them black as well. The rear, the rudders for the rear bumper. A tiny piece there that I can't identify in the video. This is one of the dispensers for like the smoke or the oil that comes out the back. And of course the overall piece of bodywork. So all of those are going for priming. Everything except the bodywork will be primed in grey. The bodywork of course will be primed in white. Once that primer was dry, I gave the interior a coat of XF63, which is German grey. And then I went to adding a few hand-painted details on the interior, trying to base them on images of the film. We don't really see the interior of the car for that long. But we have a sort of a green sort of a CRT display in the centre here, which is what Bond uses to shoot down the helicopter that's flying above. At some point on the steering wheel, Bond presses a couple of red buttons to fire some missiles at one of the scuba divers that just happens to be out there attacking him. So I've painted those on too. They're too close to the centre, but that's okay. For the dash we have this decal here. This represents the underwater mode and just goes in the centre like so. We do have the standard driving version here with the speedometer and so on, although that's a bit pointless since we don't really get any wheels, unless you want to show it just as it's going off the cliff into the water, but actually even that wouldn't be helpful because at that point the wheels are still available, aren't they? Anyway, that decal was put in place with a little bit of decal softener, and it will probably never be seen again. Our seats can slot in. I painted those black just to make them stand out a little bit. Steering wheel in place. And really that's the interior of our car. Of course all the exterior elements were given a coat of white, and I used Tamiya TS26, which is their rattle can white. I always find for cars and things like that that need a smooth finish, rattle can is the way to go. We need to use some clear red and clear orange for the rear and front lights. I've tried to identify the inside and the outside of these and just paint on the inside so we get the colour without the texture. Now you'll have to excuse me if my voice sounds slightly different in the second half of this video. I'm absolutely full of some kind of sinus issue at the moment. Those clear parts then go on top of a chrome plated part in the front and rear bumpers. At this stage it was really a case of just bringing these sub-assemblies together. So we have our interior, the rear window slats slot onto the rear of the interior, although strangely the side window slats go on the exterior. As you can see there's some very clear alignment pins for that on the base of the car. And then of course I realised that I haven't got the black stripe down the side of the car. So before I did anything else, I carefully masked that off and airbrushed it. And to my surprise, it came out fairly decently. Because this is Tamiya acrylics airbrushed over their lacquer-based rattle can, it was quite easy to just sort of gently scrape away any overspray, such as around that front wheel there, using a cocktail stick. I cracked out the old Galeri metal markers for the copper colour on the propellers. This is the construction of that rudder and propeller assembly. The front and rear glazing is a single piece, as I showed you before. So that's quite easy to secure with some glue on the inside of the roof. And then the front window slats go on the interior. And you can start to bring everything together with the bottom encasing all of that. Finally, we have the hydroplanes. Decor-wise, we don't have much. A couple of Lotus and Esprit logos. And then the job is done. So there we go guys, that was my build of the Fujimi 1/24th scale Wet Nellie submarine based on the Lotus Esprit. I hope you enjoyed this short video. It's been a while since I've uploaded one. I've just not really felt like modelling or editing videos recently, unfortunately. But I do have a number of videos in the pipeline, so I'm hoping to get back to that regular weekly uploading schedule. In the meantime, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for watching, and special thanks to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members for their support of my channel. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, thanks for watching and have fun modelling.